Hello everyone, welcome to Michelle's Scrapbooking Thoughts. I'm Michelle and I've got a really cute project today. We're going to be using the Simple Stories 12 by 12 kit, the Mix and Mingle. It's got 119 pieces, so lots and lots of pieces. I am calling this, I kind of struggled back and forth what to call this project, but the name that I came up with was the All-in-One Inclusive Album. And what I mean by that is, although you can put your pictures in here, you also have 3 pockets. And those pockets will all fit a gift card. So, or you could put some jewelry down in there. You could put, just whatever you wanted to inside the pockets. And then you could also include, a couple of pictures. Because there's a big spot here for pictures. There's a picture, you can put a picture here. You can put 3 smaller pictures here, and then you also have the back. So you have all that room to put pictures or different things that you might want to put on there. And I'm calling it my all-in-one gift album, or all-in-one inclusive album, or I don't know. It's kind of going along those lines. I keep going back and forth to adding gift or not adding gift. I'm really not sure about that, but by the time the video goes up, I will have a definite title involved. And it's really super simple to make, and it only takes 1 sheet of paper. Oh my gosh. So your base is just 1 sheet. And then on this particular one, I literally went through all my scraps of some of the paper collections that I've been using here recently, and this whole album is from 4 different collections of paper because I just used my scraps on it. So it's really good to use up some of your scraps to make this album and decorate it. So let's go ahead and get started. I did this one in green, but I'm going to do this one in white. We're going to do some scoring, and then we're just going to make 2 cuts. That's it, 2 cuts. All right, I need to get this cutting blade off for now because I'm not using it. I'm going to use my scissors to cut. Okay, so your first line of scoring is going to be at 3. And you want to make sure it is really, your lines are really straight, like it's measured 3 and 3 at top and the bottom. So you're going to score at 3. Then we're going to slide it down to 8. Then we're going to take it out and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, and we're going to score at 3.5. And 8.5. Simple, simple, simple. Alright, we can put this up for now. Now you're going to notice that, of course it's hard on the white, after you do all your scoring, you're going to have 3 boxes down here at the bottom. They're a little bit bigger than the boxes at the top. You want the boxes that are smaller to be at the top. That's where you're going to start your cutting, is you want these 3 boxes to be smaller than these 3 boxes down here at the bottom. And as long as you've got that, then you're good to go. So I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. And this first box right here, this is where we're going to make a cut. Now, I use scissors, but if you want to use your trimmer, you do what's easiest for you. Typically, the trimmer and I don't do well. I cut too far up. Okay. So, with this being an album, and with us adding paper and glue and essentially pictures or gift cards, or going to start to get a little bulkier. So what you want to do on these score lines is you want to cut just a smidge over on the right from it and a smidge over from the left, and we're going to cut that score line completely out. And what that allows is it takes out some of the bulk when you go to close it up. So I'm just going to stay to the right. I probably should have used a darker color. To the right of that score line, and I don't score the paper before I cut. It's just easier for me that way. But like I said, you do what you usually do. And then I'm just staying to the right. And I'm just cutting that score line out. Didn't quite cut. And that will allow your album to close without getting, you know, it'll close freely. I'm trying to cut out this little triangle that I didn't cut out. Okay, there we go. So now we've got that one cut. Now we're going to come over here to this side and we're going to cut this one completely off. And I am going to stay just a little bit to the right of that score line. And then come over to the left. And we're going to cut that out. Okay, before we go any further, we're going to turn this back around, and this is going to create your first pocket. Let me get my other one back out. This is, yeah, we're creating this pocket right here. This is what I'm calling, if you'll hear me refer to top, bottom, left, right. This is what I'm considering the top pocket, the right pocket, the left pocket, middle, and bottom. So we're creating this pocket right here. Whoops. Where's my bone folder? You should see my desk. I should pan over here and let you see. Oh my gosh. It's like I can't find anything. Okay, we're just going to go with an old random one. Alright, so we're going to just burnish that down really well. And then I added little notches in my pocket to let the recipient know that there's something in there. There's a letter in there. There's a gift card in there. There's something in that pocket that I want them to have. So I just used my 1-inch circle. And I flipped it around towards me. I just eyeballed it. And I just took a notch out. Okay, so before I do any gluing, I don't want to glue my pocket down because I want to add my designer paper. You really want to make sure these pockets are straight. Alright, and I've already cut those pieces out. Now, what I'll also refer to top pocket in and top pocket out. So this is the in part of the pocket that I'll give measurements for first. And then this is the outside. So the top pocket in is 2 7/8 by 4 3/4. Now, by all means, if you don't want to do your entire pocket like I am, then you can measure. Hold on, I'll show you. Then you can only measure like from here to here, you know, if you wanted to just do that much of paper. I like to just cover it all up. And then the outside, top pocket out, is going to be 2 7/8 by 3 3/8. Don't worry about writing any of this down. I am going to have this all over on my blog. And you're probably saying, uh-oh, you're covering up your thumb pocket. I am. And I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so I do cover it up. And then, whoops, I just flip it over and then I know exactly where to take that out. And there it goes. And that's how you do it. Okay, now we can glue our pocket down. And I recommend that you don't use any type of double-sided tape because it's going to be too wide. Plus, whatever you try to put in there is going to get stuck to the sides of that double-sided tape. I recommend using a very fine tip point when you do this glue because you're only wanting to do a small bead of glue, and I mean small. You want to have as much access room to that pocket as possible. And remember, only put it on the sides, otherwise you'll close up your pocket. And I have done that before. Okay. And you just want to get those pockets down. Okay, now this piece over here needs to come completely off. It's going to the whole thing's going to be removed. And we're not going to take that score line out. We're just going to get right on the score line. Oh, my phone is ringing. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so we took that one out. Now we're going to create this pocket. So what you want to do, you've got your top pocket up here. We're going to come down to the bottom corner down here and we're going to cut straight up this score line. But we're going to take it out. We're going to take this score line out. Just like we did the other ones. That prevents less bulk. Alright, so this is going to become your second pocket, or what I call the right pocket. Okay, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to notch out my thumb hole. Alright, now we've got these measurements over here. Okay, what could I do here? Okay, your pocket end piece, your right pocket end piece is 3 3/8 by 4 3/4. This is the cutest paper ever. Just going to come in. Okay, and this piece right here, the out piece, is going to be 3 3/8 by 3 7/8. This would even be cute for a pen pal. You could put your letter in there. Now, before we glue our pocket down, we definitely want to get this out. I don't think I told y'all this either, but the base, this white base cardstock, the size is 12 by 12. So it's one sheet of 12 by 12. I don't think I said that in the beginning. Yeah, but you could put like a bracelet. I even put I was figuring out things I could put in there besides the gift cards. You know, you could put some jewelry down in there. You could probably put I don't know, something like a thin piece of candy maybe. I don't know, different kinds of things. It'd be fun just to figure out as you go along what you could put in it. Okay. So the top pocket's done. The right pocket's done. Now we're going to move on to the left pocket. This one we're just going to cut to the right of the score line. And you may, I did with my first one, I still had to do some trimming to take some more of the bulk out when folding. Just as we add, you know, layers of glue or adhesive, and then, you know, on top of the designer paper, it's already going to add some thickness and stability to it. So, all right, so we cut that score line out. This folds up. Whoops. And this becomes your third pocket. So I'm going to flip it towards me, and I'm going to cut my third notch. So the inside piece, the pocket inside piece, is 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. Look at those little doggies. Aren't they so cute? I'm going to use these on the front. You're probably saying, no, don't put those on the bottom, but they're going to be the front. That's what's good about using a paper collection that matches so well is I cut this for the inside piece and this, you know, this for the outside piece. So it's really simple when you're using a collection that matches so well, because what you do for one part can be the other part on the other side. And then the outside piece is 3 3/8 by 3 7/8. I'm trying to make sure, be a little bit more self-conscious about staying in frame and looking over to make sure that I still am, because I think I had one subscriber, she reached out and told me, so I was like, oh, thank you for telling me. I need to, you know, I get so involved in what I'm doing and talking that I forget to look over to make sure you guys can see everything. So I'm trying to do better. Okay, so this becomes our third pocket. Oh my gosh, how sweet is that looking already? So we're just going to do a thin bead of glue. Right here. Okay, so now we're going to focus on, this is the middle and the bottom. Your middle box, is what I'm calling it, is going to be 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 squared. And I was thinking about putting this one here, but I think it's just too white on white for me. So I think I'm going to go with this one, because you'll need 2 of these. And the reason I did 2 is because you'll need one for the back. So you'll need a back piece as well. But I'll let you know in my blog how many you'll need of what. Okay, what do you think? Let's see. Should I do the red or should we do the white? Decisions, decisions. I think I'm going to go with the red. This paper is very vintagey. I think I've mentioned before that I like vintage. All things vintage. I'm very sentimental. Okay, and then we're going to save the second piece for when we do the back. And your bottom piece is going to be 3 7/8 by 4 3/4. Oh my goodness. I plan to do this video tomorrow and do my December daily album that I want to share with you guys. I wanted to do it today because it's December the 1st, but I didn't get it done in time. So I'm really hoping that I can get it done today so that I can do that video tomorrow. If not, it'll definitely be done on Saturday. But this will be my first December daily one. I've never done one before. Have you guys done, do you guys do December dailies? I used to play a game with my niece, and I had these, I used to make these cards up, and they hung like on a banner, and they were all numbered from December the 1st through the 24th. And so I used to keep her in the afternoon, and then when she would get home from school, she would, my goodness, she would open up one of the envelopes, pull the card out, and each day would be an activity of something she and I would do until her dad picked her up. So it could be anywhere from, you know, baking cookies, Christmas cookies, to watching a Christmas movie and having popcorn. We may have done a Christmas craft project of some sort, and she really enjoyed that. Really did. She's in high school now. I thought about doing it just because it's so much fun for me too, but I'm going to ask her this weekend if she'd like to do it again. I'm hoping won't think it's lame of me asking her, because she's a high schooler now. So I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that she'll want to do it at least for one more year. Okay, so we've got all that done. So what essentially will happen is you have your right panel that folds over, your left panel that folds over. This essentially comes up, and then the top comes over, and that creates your album. But we've got some more pieces to do. So we're going to turn it over, and we're going to put our other 4 3/4 square piece right here. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. It's just because I love doing activities and stuff like that. And my son and I did it for a while, but, you know, they grow out of stuff like that quicker than girls do. But so when my niece started coming over in the afternoon after she gets she gets off the bus here. And then we're going to put this piece here. Then when she came, you know, to the age where she could do stuff like that, I was like, oh, yippee. Okay. Get this piece down. Now, this is what I'm just calling, even though this is the back of your, you know, this is a pocket here, this is just going to be a photo opportunity right here. So this is not going to have a pocket. It's just going to be a solid sheet of cardstock. So the right flap is going to be 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. And I don't think I cut those because when I'm putting an album together, and this is going to be what they open up, I really want to make sure that what I have here matches really well. And if I cut that ahead of time, it may not match very well. So that's why I waited to cut those. So I'm going to get some more of the paper. And I'm going to cut those with you because I just don't know what I want to use. So I'm thinking some of the pages I haven't used, I've got these little stars with this, and I'm not crazy about the holly leaves at all, so that won't be used as another side. And I've got this. I love this. I'm thinking about using this and this together. This to be this flap, and then the poinsettias to make this flap, I think is what I'm going to do. Okay, so let me get the trimmer. And this one is going to be, well, this is going on the left-hand side. It doesn't matter. They're going to be just about the same size. Let's see. The left panel is going to be 3 3/8 by 4 3/4. So 3 3/8. Whoops, I took the cutter out. Now I'm trying to score it. Right, 3 3/8 by 4 3/4. Okay, so that's going to go on the left side, right here. And on the right side, we're going to be using this piece. I think that is just absolutely gorgeous. And one of the reasons I'm partial to this paper is because I'm a huge, turquoise is my most favorite color of all. I'm not crazy about that side either. So this piece needs to be 3 3/8. 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. Whoops. Yeah, that's right. Alright, so now we can put these on. But I want to make sure. That's the thing, you can get lost with this album and glue things on upside down, and I don't want to do that. So I want to make sure this looks good together. Okay. Okay, so that one's done. I've been sitting here talking to y'all. I've been thinking, I think I am going to finally name this one the All-in-One Inclusive Gift Album. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so these fold over, this folds up, and this comes down. So now we need this piece right here, and I forgot to write the measurements down for this one. So, where is my ruler? It's in this mess over here somewhere. Alright, so this top piece for your flap needs to measure, for your matting, 2 7/8 by 4 7/8. So let me write that down in my notes. Okay, got that written down. Otherwise, I'd forget and have to do it all again. So let's see, what paper do we want to use for the top? Okay, I'm going to want a pattern, I think, because this is pretty solid. So I'm going to want something at the top that's a little bit busy. Let's see. We could have this one. What do you think? No, I'm not really liking it. I don't know. Let's see what else we have. Trying to go in for some of my scraps that I've already cut. So I'm not cutting into a new piece unless I have to. We've got this one. This is where I have to play, and oh, I kind of like that. kind of like that. Won't use that. Oh, that's cute. What do you think about that? Oh, decisions, decisions. And let me, let me have the little dogs. I don't want to do the dogs though. Oh, it's either between the candy canes or the poinsettias, and I think I'm going to go with the candy canes, just because it just screams Christmas to me. Okay, so what did I say? 2 7/8. 2 7/8. By 4 7/8. Oh, and before I forget, because it just reminded me, when it all is said and done, it will sit up. So, if, you know, the recipient, if they get it early enough or whatever, like if it's going to them before Christmas, they will sit up. So they'll sit. I thought that was really cool that when I flipped it over, it just so happened to stand up like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, that is really cool. So the recipient could like set it up on a fireplace mantle, their coffee table, end table, kitchen, you know, wherever they wanted to display it. And it would sit up, and, you know, the main focal point they would see first could be a really cool picture right there. So I really like it that they sit up like that. And if it happens to be an area where both sides can be seen, then, you know, you're gonna get the front and the back, the front and the back views. So I thought that was really cool. All right, I just want to throw that in there because when I flipped it over, that's what triggered me to remember to say that. Okay, so this is gonna go here. Okay. Isn't that absolutely adorable? So you could, you know, do your left flap in and then your right flap, but I'm going to do it like that. And this folds up. Now, I originally thought that maybe, possibly, I could use a magnet, but it's still even too bulky. It's too thick, I think. I'd have to put like probably 3 magnets, one here, one here, and one here. So what I did with this one, I'm a fan of belly bands. I just am. I think they're just, it's more glue and paper to play with, y'all. Y'all know how I like to play with glue and paper. Okay, where'd my belly band go for this one? Oh, my Lanta. No. There we go. So what I did was I cut a piece of 1 by 12 of the cardstock, and the designer paper was 1 and, let's see, it was like it was 7/8 by 12. Yeah, 7/8 by 12. And then I just added that on to keep it closed. And there you have it. I mean, that is just, oh, I love it. And you can even come back in with some of the pieces if you wanted to. And, you know, like put a couple of, you know, a sticker here or one of the smaller, you know, die cuts that come with it. And, you know, you could either glue it down partially so that you could do a tuck spot. But if somebody's going to set it up, which I know my grandmother, she would have set this up immediately. And, you know, you want them to see, this is your focal point when somebody looks. That one and then the back. But you could add some stickers if you wanted to. I may go back and do that. But for the sake of the video, I didn't want to do any decorating because, to be honest with you, I don't know what I want to do. And it takes me forever to make decisions. So I definitely just wanted to get the base of the project done for you so you know how to create it. And then I'll come back in later with adding some embellishments. So let's see. Just always remember your top piece your side. This is what it looks like. Because when you start messing with it, you're thinking, oh, does this flop over? No, that doesn't. So just try to remember, this is the top. You've got 2 panels, left and right, and then your bottom. And then these fold in and up and over. So to create the belly band, I would use a piece probably of red cardstock or pink. I might do pink. Let me see if I've got any. I don't have any pink. I know I don't have any that's 12 by 12, and you definitely need 12 by 12. Let's see. If I've got another piece. Maybe I've got a red piece. Maybe I'll do red. I've got red here. Would red look okay? That red looks okay. Okay, I'm going to do red. And that piece needs to be 1 by 12. Okay, so it's 1 by 12. And then the designer piece needs to be 7/8 by 12. Or 7/8 by a smidge off of 11, I think. Let's see. Should we do the doggies? No, that would clash too much. I don't want to do that. Nope, don't like that. Let's see. What could we use, guys? I've got this one. I think this one would be pretty. I haven't cut it yet. Oh, look. I got little drinks with candies and lollipops. Those are cute. I just don't, that would be too busy. I don't want to do that one either. I think what I'm going to do, let's use this one. I don't want to be here all day. You guys don't want to sit here all day and while I try to make up my mind. Is anybody else indecisive like that? It's just like there's just so many options, and when there's so many options, there's like more than 2 to choose from. It's just too many. It's like I want to use them all. All right. Yeah, I would just, it's basically just taking a smidge off of each end. And like I said, I'm just eyeballing it. All right, and we're going to glue it on. I don't do any scoring for this. I just fold it and go. I like to go ahead and glue this piece on first. And being that it's glue, it gives me that extra few seconds just to get things in the middle and straight. All right. So essentially, I just try to eyeball it somewhere in the middle, and then I just start wrapping. And then you'll just want to add a little bit of glue just on one of them. I usually do it for the one on the back. And then bring this over. And you'll have to hold it in place. And don't, try to put it on there so tight the recipient can't get it off and on. But you don't want it too loose either. All right. And there you have it. Easy peasy. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Where's the other one? I hope you guys enjoyed my all-in-one inclusive gift album. Thanks so much for watching and commenting. I really appreciate you guys. It really helps keep me motivated to create more and more things because I am so passionate about paper and glue. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great day. See you next time.